Some news. Let's start with some trending news here. So, Twitter has reportedly jumped into the TikTok buying mix as a potential suitor for the social media platform. So, to recap, bring us up to speed, TikTok is being forced to sell its US based operations via an executive order from Donald Trump. So, there's a potential countersuit from TikTok that may be aimed at that. But it's not a surprise that multiple companies want to get in on the action of buying the social media platform, since TikTok has about 85 million active users on its platform alone. Now, Microsoft has been most prominent in public, the most prominent in public company to state they'd like to buy TikTok. They could somehow combine TikTok and LinkedIn, or utilize the data that TikTok gathers, or any continuity as that. But they set a self-imposed deadline of September 15th to complete the purchase. Now, Twitter would have to raise a substantial amount of money to join into that mix. TikTok's assets are valued at about $29 billion, which is about the same price as what TikTok or what Twitter is actually worth. So that's a lot of money to raise. But it would be interesting to see Twitter bring back a short video sharing social media site to its platform, since it already had one in Vine. Now, it also shut Vine down a few years ago, very famously, and a lot of those users went to TikTok. So reuniting would be interesting. There's been rumors even that Apple may want TikTok as well, but nothing is official, of course, and you just know that Amazon wants to get in so bad. They probably won't. That's just a rumor. I have no idea, but I would guess Amazon would want to too. But you can follow along with all of this at digitaltrends.com, and more on the TikTok lawsuit here in just a few minutes. We'll have the details for that. Let's continue on here with trending news. Dara Khosrowshahi is the CEO of Uber, and he posted an op-ed in the New York Times calling for a benefits fund for gig workers. So let's give a little bit of context here. There's a legal battle going on in California right now, which would completely change how the gig economy works. And this all hails back to a law that was passed at the beginning of the year. It would have been a very major news story over the last few months, but there's been a few things overshadowing it. So the law is called AB5, and it calls for Uber, Lyft, and other gig economy employers to classify their workers as employees instead of contractors, which would mean full-time wages, benefits, and everything that comes along with a regular employee job. Now, Uber and Lyft have countersued, and they're now facing a possible injunction from the California Attorney General for failing to follow the new law. But here's where this comes in. So, the Uber CEO is proposing a different solution, which would be a benefits fund that the gig economy contractor would then use in the way they see fit. So an Uber or Lyft contractor would then be able to apply this fund to either medical benefits or paid time off. And Khosrowshahi also hosted a Zoom AMA meeting with these drivers as well, kind of going over how this would work. The bottom line, though, is this. Even with an injunction, applying the new rules to their business is going to be complicated and messy. So whatever happens in California will almost certainly start happening nationwide, and that's why this is a very big story to follow as far as what does shake out from this. So we'll know more action here imminently, probably from either California, the Attorney General, or whatever Uber and Lyft do, since they are the two big ones. But keep in mind, this is DoorDash, Postmates, all these other services as well that are gig economy employers. So it's an important one. You can follow along with everything at digitaltrends.com. Continuing on here with some more trending news. Let's talk about the Xbox. Now, we both know that the platform wars are coming up between both PlayStation and Xbox. Their new consoles that are going to be coming out here later on this fall. We've seen what the Xbox Series X is going to look like, but now we've got some details on the other one, and that is the Xbox Series S. So here's what happened. A Twitter user by the name of Zach S was able to purchase a controller on a resale site, and when it arrived, it said on the side of the box that it works with both Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S consoles. Now, the Series S is just rumored right now. It's not something that's been announced by Microsoft, but it's rumored to be a cheaper version of the new Xbox Series X, kind of a more streamlined one, and there was even a document leaked in June that gave the codename Lockhart to this console and allowed developers to create games to some specifics that were outlined. It's thought that Microsoft will be having another event this month and possibly unveiling the Microsoft Series S at that time. And it probably would have a lot to do with the potential bundle of the console and a subscription to Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, all going towards the streaming side of things. Now, of note, Sony still hasn't shown us what the PlayStation 5 is going to look like, and I want to see that. But nonetheless, we know what the Series X looks like. That could be the Series S that could be announced later on. You can read more about Microsoft and the Xbox launch at digitaltrends.com. And one more story here in trending news, since we're not getting Top Gun 2 this year. What about the next best thing? Well, on August 20th, you can watch an actual experienced Air Force combat pilot take on an AI-controlled fighter jet. virtually, of course, not going to actually be flying it. So DARPA, which stands for Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, and is under the Department of Defense, has been holding something called the Alpha Dogfight Trials since November 19th of last year. So the competition features previously selected participants who create algorithms which then take on a virtual AI fighter created by Johns Hopkins University's Applied Physics Laboratory. So there's been 2 trials so far, and the third one's going to take place between August 18th and August 20th. It's going to be streamed publicly so you can watch it, and it'll culminate in a round-robin tournament which will declare one AI the champion. Then that champion will take on an Air Force fighter pilot who will be flying a virtual reality F16 simulator against it in a dogfight. Now, the stated goal of the entire program isn't to train AI that would directly replace humans in air combat, but to increase the trust that human pilots would have in an AI partner machine that could fly with them. So according to Colonel Dan Animal Javorcik, who's the program manager in DARPA's Strategic Technology Office, if the champion AI earns the respect of an F-16 pilot, we'll have come one step closer to achieving effective human-machine teaming in air combat. It's definitely going to be interesting, so read more about that at digitaltrends.com.